Hey guys, Jim here from DrinkABeerandPlayAGame. Now you know that I love some video pinball, so let's take a look at a recreation and enhancement of an actual table with Pinbot on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Originally released in 1990, this was developed by Rare and published by Nintendo. It's based on the 1986 pinball table of the same name by Williams. It is a NES exclusive. Graphically, the game, alright, I'll be honest here, the game kind of looks like crap. And it looks like crap because of the color choices. I mean, look at this. It's just pink and purple pastels. The colors can change when you activate certain effects, but again, you're only going to have two main flashy colors on the table, and it's just so off-putting. I mean, I understand why they did it like this because they want to differentiate between the different levels of difficulty, but man, is it bad to look at. Another thing that I don't quite like is the fact that it always keeps the flippers in view. So it'll have a weird window with the flippers at the bottom while the ball goes all over the table. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it will take you a little bit of time to get used to anticipating where the ball is on the table before you're going to interact with the flippers. So it's weird, but I guess I can see what they were going for here. Outside of that though, the table looks exactly like how it would look in real life, so that's a plus. Graphics get the job done, but I just think it's ugly. When it comes to sound, it's actually great. You have all this different kind of music in the game. You have different tunes that happen while you're in different stages, like multi-ball, or you have a special thing lined up that you can hit. There's all these visual cues of little timers. You have every single sound effect from the real game, and it's just such a treat to listen to. It even has all the digitized voice of the main table, which is really impressive for the NES. When it comes down to it, I just don't have any complaints here. The sound package is great. Control-wise, it's perfectly fine. You use the A button to hit the right flipper, you use any button on the D-pad to hit the left flipper, the B button launches the plunger, and the start and select button can nudge the table or tilt yourself. Basic pinball stuff, no complaints here, it's perfectly fine. Gameplay-wise, the table takes all the bonuses and challenges and everything like that from the original pinball table, which is awesome. What it also does is it adds extra challenges, which they call levels, which are level 1, level 2, I think through 6, where it'll add different challenges to the table. Now, I never got good enough to be able to show you all of these, but I got to level 1. And basically what it starts to do is it'll add creatures that are on there which can eat the ball, or black holes, or a plane that flies around dropping bombs. A lot of cool crap they added in here. And while the purists tend to really not like stuff like this, I think it's cool to see what a video game can add to a pinball table in real life, so this is a great example of it. The physics of the ball's pretty good. I will say it moves around the table just fine. It's just when it comes to the flippers, it's a little bit heavy. And when I say heavy, I mean you can catch a ball no matter what momentum you have within like 2 bounces. So maybe that's a way to make up for the split screen kind of view that they have to make it easier on the player, but it's just weird when you're flying all over the table and you can just catch a ball instantly. Personally, I think that kind of helps the player, which is a good thing, but again, it's a kind of a thing that a purist will hate, but I don't think it took away from the gameplay at all. You can have 1 to 4 players taking turns, so that's, always cool. And the second player can actually pause the game for you because, like I said, start and select are for tilting, so if you're just playing 1 player, you're not going to be taking any breaks. The originality comes from all the different challenges that they added, like I talked about before, and replayability, it's arcade pinball, so you're always going to be trying to set a new high score for yourself, and I personally think the game's fun enough that you will be coming back again and again. When it comes to beer, especially if you're playing 1 player, you're not going to have a lot of time to take a break, so you're going to need a beer that will sit on your tongue and you can just enjoy the flavor during your play session. And depending on how good you are, you can be playing for a while before you have a break. So I would recommend a stout or a heavy porter, or even like a really strong sour, something that can just sit on your tongue, something preferably maybe with high alcohol too, so you can get at least a little bit of a buzz, something to relax you as you go through all these different challenges. Just remember, if you're playing 1 player, you're not going to have a lot of time for sipping. It'll just be between balls. Wait for the ball to go down the alleyway, take a sip, maybe take a few sips, let it sit on your tongue, and then get back into the action. So at the end of the day, do I recommend this game? You know what? Yeah. Rare did a pretty damn good job of recreating an actual table, plus with the extras they threw in, which you can do with a video game version of pinball, it was a nice added touch. Like I said before, the game is ugly as hell. So it's going to take you a little bit of time to get used to not only the color palette, but that weird split screen thing they have going on until the ball scrolls down to the flippers. Outside of that, though, this plays really well. It gives you a bunch of reasons to come back. It's got a nice presentation to it, and it's a very solid game of pinball. Sure, the ball physics can be a little finicky, but it doesn't take away from the good job that they did. Of the two games I have for the NES for pinball, this is definitely the one I go back to again and again. Alright guys, that'll do it for this video. Let us know in the comments below if you've ever played this one, what you think of it, and how you stack it against the other pinball games on the NES. Unfortunately, I only own 2 of the games, so I'll eventually have to track down the others. But for the price range, if you can find this for $5 or less, I say Pinbot's a definite must-buy. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't yet, why not hit subscribe? That way you can keep up with all of our video game reviews, our hardware reviews, and of course the Power Hour podcast, which is also on iTunes. Until next time, guys, cheers.